Hi one and all. Through this video, I will give an brief introduction of or about recommendation systems. In a simpler way, it's also called as an recommendation engines, which falls under Unit 4. Particularly through this video, I will give a brief introduction about recommendation system, like what is recommendation system, what is the use of recommendation system, and I will quote few examples for recommendation systems, and we shall see a general approach to build a solid recommendation system or make it simple to build a recommendation system. Okay, first we shall understand what are recommendation engines or recommendation systems. I can say this systems are typical or general data product where everyone, including me, can see or can feel or can see the data product. Like for example, like we were getting movies recommendation on Netflix or YouTube, or video recommendation generally on YouTube, and we are already exposed to a feature called recommended books on Flipkart or Amazon. All these are examples, are nothing but data products which are examples for recommendation engines. So since, as I said, we are all exposed to these systems, I can say these recommendation engines are a very good starting point to answer a question like what actually data scientist or data science is, what actually data scientist will do, or in other words, what actually data science is. Okay, with this we shall continue with few more details about recommendation engines. See, usually recommendation engines are used all the time. For example, as I said, you can get video recommendations or movie recommendation on Netflix, knowing which are the other movies you have liked or your friends have liked, and usually they will use past purchases or past history in order to recommend either movie or an item for an user. And it can also, as recommendation engines can also answer question like what kind of vacation are you likely to embark, or by look or on, I mean, currently or in future, by considering the past trips that you have done. And there are plenty of, or I can say generally make it simple, different ways to build a model. Here model in the sense means recommendation engines, but remember they are very similar. They will have similar feeling, but I mean they will look like building, I mean building different or using different ways to build recommendation systems looks very similar to us, but if you get into implementation part, then you will really feel that almost the paths or the ways are same. See, the what you have to do now, we shall discuss what we have to do build a or to set up. I mean, before building a recommendation engine, we shall see what we have to set up. Okay, for example, consider the scenario that you have a set of users called that set as U, and set of items called that set as V. And usually before building a recommendation engine, usually we have to what I can say, come up with an visual representation like this. Like there will be n number of users, and there will be n number of items. Here U set represent users, V set represent items, and a link or the edges between user and item represent that this user has expressed some opinion about this item. Similarly, this user has expressed some opinion on item, let us say item 1. This user has expressed some opinion on item 2. So this is the first representation or picture that you have to keep in your mind before building any recommendation engines. Then after that, also one more important point that you need to remember, that since not only the connection between user and the vertices will help you out, the weights, sometimes you need to give, almost all the times you have to give a weightage to the edges between the user and the item, because these weights represent that whether the user has expressed the opinion in a positive way or in negative way or in a negative way. Usually people will use negative values in order for negative expressions, and 0 for neutral, and positive values for positive opinions or expressions. So this is what you have to set up in your mind before building any recommendation system. Then after that, you have to collect the training data, training data. You should have a training data, because using that training data you can able to build a model, and that model can be used to predict other preferences for your users. This is what actually recommendation engine will do. Remember, you should have a training data, a very good training data. If training data is more, then obviously the performance or accuracy of the model will be more. Then which kind of data that you need is the opinion data. So opinions of some of the users on some of the items. This is the data that you have to collect and label the or call that data as a training data. And using that training data, you have to build a model. You have to build a model, and then model will is used to predict other preferences for users. This is what actually you have to do. Then one more interesting point that you need to keep in your mind is, while building this model, you can include metadata on users. Example for metadata on users is, for example, whether the user, the YouTube user, for example, if I take YouTube as an example, whether YouTube user is a male or female, or the age of the user, all these are falls under metadata. In case of items, the color of the product will form some metadata. Metadata is simple data about the data. We call this as an metadata. Sometimes you may have to use metadata, or you have to consider metadata in your training set in order to build a recommendation system. So this is, here is the summary. So usually the mathematical representation that we have to use in order to build a recommendation, here it is a vector or a collections of vectors. It means users will be represented in the form of a vector, and even items will be represented in the form of a vector. And to form this, you can include only the preferences of the user, or you can include um only the metadata. But usually people, most of the work has done by using including the preferences, and the better way is you can include both the metadata and the preferences in your training data, in your training data. And then you start using that training data to build a model. Particularly that model will act like a recommendation, we also got as a recommendation engine. So usually, as I said, represent the user and their preferences in the form of a vector. See, in the form of a vector, usually collections of vectors will form a matrix. So usually matrix representation is used in order to build a model. This is a very important point that you need to keep in your mind. And usually in future we will use U as a matrix. And remember, as a training data is very huge, as I said, to get a better accuracy, the matrix dimension, if I say m cross n, will be very huge, and you can't able to process this huge matrix without doing some sort of what I can say, compression technique. So that's why in future we shall see a few of the compression techniques like single value decomposition, principal component analysis. Particularly these are all called as these are all used to, or called as dimensionality reduction. So the dimensionality reduction means simple. Don't take the complete matrix. Instead of this taking complete matrix, you take part of the matrix, like for example from first vector to vector 3, or from first vector to vector 5. Suppose assume it has n number of vectors. So that thereby you can, instead of taking the huge matrix, you take a subset of this matrix. As a result, the computation will be faster, and you will may get the good result. And remember this small, remember very important point that you need to remember here, it is this small, as I said, this small subset of this whole original matrix should be able to represent, or the original matrix. Means by using the data present in this submatrix, we can able to get back the original matrix. You have to, I mean, you have to fulfill this criteria, and both single value decomposition, principal component analysis will ensure this. That's why even today people are using this as for dimensionality reduction. That you will understand when you go through the future videos, or by looking into the textbook. So if you have doubt regarding in this, you please feel free to contact me. So just for a summary or a recap, we understood what actually recommendation systems is. They are also called as a recommendation engine. The best example that you can remember for a recommendation system is recommending videos in the YouTube, or movies in the Netflix, or recommending books in a Flipkart, or items in a Flipkart or an Amazon. And what we have to keep in your mind to build a recommendation system is, first you have to come up with an scenario like users will be there, items will be there. Users will be treated as one vector and items will be treated as one vector. Obviously there will be a relationship between user and the item, and that relationship will be weighted, remember, using whether the user has expressed positive opinion or negative opinion with respect to that item. Then once we come up with this representation, by keeping that mind in your representation, keep in your mind that you need a training data. You collect the training data which represent, as I said, users and opinions or preferences of the items. This will be the training data. Once you get the training data, then you build up the model, uh, build a model so that it can able to predict other preferences of your users. That's what recommendation will engine will do. So then we understood, before building a model, remember the data, training data may include the metadata or may not include the metadata. So usually it is preferable to say include the metadata and preferences so that you may get more information. And as I said, at last, finally, once you represent the remember represent the training data in a matrix form, this matrix will be very huge. Like usually matrix can be called as in collections of vectors like vector 1, vector 2, vector 3, vector 4, vector 5, etc, vector n. So let us assume this is m cross n matrix. Usually this will be a very huge matrix. We can't able to feed this huge matrix to an computer because sometimes the computer may not have sufficient memory or processing power to process this. There actually single value decomposition or principal component analysis come into picture in order to reduce this matrix dimension to an simpler dimension. See, usually simpler dimension means, or a small, it usually in that case usually you will take a submatrix of the original matrix, so thereby reducing the dimension of the matrix, and then you use this matrix for further analysis or for further processing. This is the idea that I have to conclude or I have to convey through this video. So as I said, if you find any difficulty, so feel free me to ask me question. Thank you.